or these front symbols and layers in. So right now, just click on the new folder, double click on it, call it front. Then select the top one here, hold down shift, select the bottom one, and drag it up until that line looks like this. And now it's inside of the folder, and I can collapse it, and we keep things organized. And let's make sure we have everything the way we want it to be. So I'm going to look at my legs here, turn them off, turn them on, and I'm going to turn off the lock on the legs. The reason being, I would like to try and see how they look in the background. So I'll drop them below the torso, and you can see now that this one's in back, this one's in front. Do the same thing here. There we go. So now we have our character, and the joints of his legs are hidden, which is nice. It looks a little cleaner. Okay, so now we're going to move what is called the anchor point. It's really just the pivot point where the joint would be, where the shoulder joint would be in this case. But I will start by sliding that up, but it won't let me slide it, so what I have to do is... Okay, so we're going to move the anchor point, or the pivot point, and this, it's easier to see it than to describe it, but I'll do that here in a second. Free transform. When I click free transform by right clicking or control clicking on my symbol, as it's unlocked as you can see, I can move up the anchor point to the corner here. Now you'll see that it rotates based on that pivot point. So that's how we will start to create our animation. I can do the same thing with this one. Once I've unlocked it, move it up here, move it down to where the neck would be, or where the scarf is. And as you can see, it kind of moves like this. Save every once in a while. I like to save with a new name occasionally because I've had problems with files corrupting. So I go save as, and then you would just create the exact same name, but you'd say 1, 2, 3, 4 or ABC, that kind of thing. _1. There you go. So we have a whole new Flash document now. If something happens to the original, you got to back up. And you should do that probably every 5 to 15 minutes, depending on how stable your system is. But I just like to do it a lot. And that go up to the center point. Again. Right to there. So there we go. You can kick away. You can walk. We can do a lot of things now that we couldn't do before. So, okay, so in order to continue to keep this organized, I'm going to go down in the library here, make a new folder, call it front, and I'm going to drag everything by command clicking on these, or control clicking if you're on PC, into the front. Now I can still open it, still drag it, but it's all hidden and organized. I can do the same thing here on the timeline. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to create a symbol that will contain objects that you want to work on together. And what I mean by that is this. I will lock all of the layers except for the 2 legs. Then I'm going to use my selection tool. It can be any of these actually, but let's use this one right here. Free transform tool. Just select it, right click, convert to symbol. Call it legs front. Okay. Now if I double click on this now, it sees it as one symbol. You'll notice that down here there's no black dot where there used to be one. That's because it's taken the symbol and it's put it on the top layer. And in order to work with them separately, we need to double click on it. And it still sees them as one layer, so we're going to right click and do what is called distribute to layers, and that will create our other layer, our two separate leg layers to work with. And this layer 1 we can now delete. So if I go back here, you notice this symbol right here is no longer visible on the timeline. Double click, and what we're going to do is we are going to, it kept our anchor point, which is nice, so we're going to animate our legs moving, just as an example. So because we've created symbols, we're already set up for a motion tween, and I'm going to make all of our animations 80 frames long. So the easy way to do that, click, sort of click and drag down like that. It's a click and drag down. Insert frame. We got two blank gray lines here. We're going to right click, create motion tween, and we have it at 24 frames per second, which I'm going to change to 15. And right here, halfway through the second, I'm going to make it here, and right there, it's going to be there. So there we go. Do the same thing here, create motion tween. So he's going to be doing a little hop, and there we go. And then he's going to land. So I'll let him fly for a bit. Then I'm going to start I'm going to make it just move just a little there. Drag it back down just a little. And then by here, he should be all the way back down again. There we go. So we've got a hop. So we can go back to scene 1. And we notice that it does animate. I can play that, and I can go Command Enter, and it will animate, and that's the speed it's at. So at this point, we only have the legs grouped together as a symbol. And that's a good start, but I'm going to save this with a new name and call it 2. And if I want to add notation, I can do that. Symbol legs. There we go. Alright, so let's work on moving the arms. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new symbol that will be comprised of the torso and the two arms. So we look at the two arms, we unlock those. I'm going to select that layer, hold down Shift, and select the torso layer. Notice I've locked this, so it's not going to include that in my selection. Right click, convert it to a symbol. We're going to call the symbol torso arms front. There we go. Okay, now double click on it,